Well, what do we got here? We have another phone number. Where's my little? Oh, that's what it looks like. It looks like another crossed out phone number. Usually, what that means is that it's from somebody who's pretty old because they haven't done phone numbers on pennies in years. Let's see. As long as we have copper, we're all right. You know what I mean? That means it's probably not a searched penny roll, and that's my main concern. So I do see, right? As long as, like, for example, yeah, as long as this is a copper penny, then we're okay. Oh, look at that. The first one I grab's a wheat cent. Look at that. A 56. Well, that's a beauty, man. All right. So not a search through. A wheat cent would definitely put this in the not search through category. Now, for those of you who've been, watching my channel regularly, you'll know that over the course of the past couple of years, I have found several search through penny rolls. And there are several ways to know that a penny roll has been searched through. What most people do is they put checks on it. That's what I've seen. 2017 D, not P. Interesting. Um, 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 um. Another D. Hmm. They put a check mark on the penny roll, and believe it, and there goes the P. All right, we're talking, playing with cooking with gas, and a D. Oh, what a weird penny roll! It does seem like, like to have a certain direction or theme. And does it matter if a penny roll was searched previously? Yeah, it does, especially if there's no copper, right? That's the biggest theft of. Let me go in a little closer because I keep bringing the penny just a little closer. I'm looking at that A there. No, it's just like damaged on the bottom. They've extracted the copper, and it's basically a barren pick through second copper penny. And what's left over are just zinc cents that the person might have, searched through already for the wide AMs, the 2017 Ps, the 2009s variations. And it's just, I mean, you could, if you have nothing to do yet, then it's fine, right? Um, you got nothing to do, and you got this. So let's see if they missed anything. Let's see if they missed the wide AM. Let's see if there's any double dies. let's see if they really knew what they were doing. You know what I mean? Yeah, then it's okay. But for a YouTube channel, then it's really not. It's not what I'm hoping for, because um, part of the channel is really to review, uh, when they show up, the the copper pennies, and what I'm looking for on them, right? The repunch mint marks. Look at the eye. The shifting, the separation, the notches, the die clashes. And also, I set from a personal from a personal perspective. I separate copper, right? I put them into penny wrappers by condition, and I save them. One day, over the rainbow, in the distant future, I'm gonna sell them. I'm gonna sell the copper pennies one day, and I'm gonna make a profit, right? Because I only paid a penny for a copper penny, and I'm gonna end up selling them for 5 cents. And I went over this in recent videos about hard assets, and how they're really the only hedge against inflation. Hard assets tend to outperform inflation. Tend to, generally speaking. You know, so even though talking about pennies, you're talking about the smallest possible denomination that you can, right? It's like, I don't know. You're just talking about a microscopic uh, value. But a penny that you paid a penny for, if you sell it for 5 cents, you're selling it for 5x, and that's huge, you know. Um, in the scheme of things, this penny roll is so interesting. It has mostly copper, but the copper pennies that are in here are like super old. I guess 61D. All right, we have an 80, and then we have the wheat cent. So it wouldn't surprise me if the person had like a little jar of pennies that from for a long time, and then they just threw in the other jar of pennies into that jar of pennies. But 4 copper pennies isn't the end of the world, and I really doubt that this is a search through penny roll. Oh, we got an 82. Let me see if this is copper. Wow, that's beautiful condition. I'm pretty sure this is copper. The only way to truly know is to weigh it, but yeah, I guess I could weigh it. This is almost, it's not a proof or anything, but it's in such mint condition, and it's the small date. You know, this is like the type of penny they would sell on eBay for like $2. All right. That's I'm gonna say it's copper. Yeah, 3.7. It's copper. What a wicked penny that is. So right there, so that's just to show you, right? This is a great example of what I've been talking about in the past several videos: hard assets, hedge against inflation. This penny right here, I guarantee you, this is like as close to uncirculated as you're gonna find in a penny roll, right? I didn't say it was MS67 or anything like that, but I'll look it up on eBay, right? We're gonna put 1982 copper small date. All right, we're gonna go lowest for. I mean, like if you bought the lowest, cheapest penny on eBay, buy it now. 1982 copper small date. All right, yeah, that's pretty. Well, first of all, the one that they have here for $1.79 is not a small date. That's a large date. Okay, $1.79. So that's number one. Let's keep going. Uh, hmm. That's also the next one is also a large date. If that was a small date, this would be $1 million penny. That was an 82 copper small date, Denver. It'd be $1 million penny. And I have to say, even though I got to be honest with you, see, neither one of these. That's a large date. That's a large date. That's the small date. See how skinny it is towards the left, the bottom left, and how it looks like a question mark. Right. If I go like this, you notice how that looks like a question mark. If you put a little dot under that, under the bottom of that two right there at the corner, see how it looks, or a shepherd's crook. All right, so let's keep going. So I haven't found one, right? So the $1.79 ones, all right, there goes a and this one doesn't look like copper. That looks like zinc. So I don't know if they weighted or not. All right, here we go. This guy here looks like they know what they're talking about. Copper uncirculated. That's about what we got. $2. And that's what I said, right? I said that because I look these up on a regular basis, what pennies are selling for every once in a while. So they're $2, right? And this looks about the condition as an uncirculated one in there. It's a $2 penny. That if you bought a house for 100,000, you sold it for 200,000, that would be 100% profit or 100% over, right? So a penny that's 5 cents that you got for a penny you sell for 5 cents, that's 500%. But if you sold one for $2, I mean, it's so funny. The closest thing I could think of to compare to pennies, copper pennies specifically, would be penny stocks, right? You get penny stocks, you get a million, whatever it is for 10,000 $10,000, you get a million of them, right? A million shares of a penny stock. Well, if the friggin' penny stock goes to 2 cents, well, if it goes to 10 cents, that's it. You got 100 grand on your $10,000 investment, right? It's 10x. If it went to $1, you got $1 million. But to find a penny that's worth $2, that's like a penny stock uh, going to $2. Obviously, but what would that mean on $10,000? You'd have to put two zeros behind it and then double that. So on 10,000 would be $1 million. be $2 million on a $10,000 investment. So if you do enough of them, right? If you find enough, if you're doing this, like some people are doing boxes of pennies. I'm doing a penny roll a day. It's nothing, but I'm in it for the long game. I try to teach that to my son. It's such an important what's the word I'm looking for? Life hack, pearl of wisdom. Um, it's such an important aspect of life, right? That things are done, you know, slowly but surely, right? In today's climate, information, how iPhone, how fast things move. People want instant gratification with everything in life. But that it's so hard to go against that, right? Because you get trained. It's like being a fish out of water. You feel like you can't breathe if you slow down. But in my opinion, the most important way to grow is slowly, because um the habits bake in, right? If you do something, like if you try to lose weight in a month, yeah, you could probably lose 100 pounds in a month, 50, whatever it is, unhealthy, not healthy, whatever. You could hit your goal quick. The chance of you putting that back on are probably 99.99%. But a person who develops good eating habits, a good starts to walk, right? Don't go from being a couch potato to running a marathon. First of all, yeah, I don't know if you could do that, but I'm just saying, it doesn't make sense. Start walking a few blocks, whatever it is. And the same thing with finances. You know, if you have no respect for the money that you're saving, well, they say a fool and their money will soon part ways. It's the reason why people who hit the lotto become broke 99% of the time, because they have no idea of fiscal responsibility, how to manage their finances. They have no um, economic intellectuality. And pennies are a great place, because you're if you learn how to manage such a small uh, value increment, this will probably set you up beautifully for the bigger things. I'm very mindful of my finances. Right, things are so tenuous out there. Inflation. So, like, I buy stuff online. Oh, we got another 82. This one is the large date. What a great penny roll hunt this turned out to be. So there you go. There goes the large date. Yeah, I should take a picture of this. Let me see if I can get a good take a nice picture of that for the channel. Okay, the thumbnail. Like, I buy stuff on online. When every time, if I make a few bucks, I'll invest a few bucks in something that I think is, they have that thing called trading up. I don't know if you ever heard of that before. It's where people take something, maybe something that they found or that they were given, and then they try to trade up for something more expensive to get to some sort of a goal, right? So I think one person on YouTube, I don't know what it was, like they took an iPhone, and they try to trade up to whatever, a Porsche, you know. In Pokemon, you get in Pokemon in Pokemon cards, you get people who go to trade shows, and they'll take. Sometimes someone will give them a free card, or they'll battle for a card, whatever. Or they'll go there with a cheap card. So they'll go there with a $5 card, and they'll keep trying to trade that for a better card through the different vendors that are there, and leave, like, so go there with a $5 card and leave with $100 card, for example. That could be their mission for the day. So I kind of try to do that. Like if I sell something for $5, I try to buy something for $5 that I could then sell for $20. But I try to be I'm very conservative. I guess that's where I was getting at with all this. And here goes another nice copper penny. So we got more copper out of here than I thought we would. I try to be conservative. I try to be penny wise, but not dollar foolish, right? So penny wise, dollar foolish, then you're a fool, right? If you're penny wise and dollar foolish, you're a fool. But if you're penny wise, but if you're dollar wise and penny foolish, you can also be a fool, or you probably are a fool, right? So it's like, okay, you're dollar wise, so whatever, you know how to save, you know how to pay your bills, but you have all these micro expenses that are just, that are bleeding you dry by, death of a 1,000 paper cuts. You know what I mean? And that's also foolish. So I try to be penny wise and dollar wise, both of them. I think that's what makes my judgment financially balanced. And it's a philosophy. I guess that's the word I was looking for before. It's a philosophy, and it's my philosophy. Don't be penny wise, dollar foolish. Don't be dollar wise, penny foolish. Be penny wise and dollar wise. That's balanced. Then you're making wise decisions on multiple levels, from a penny, right? If you can't make a good decision about a penny, what's the likelihood that you're going to make a good decision about a dollar? If you can't understand the intricacies, the dynamics of how much a penny's worth, and understand the fact that a nickel is 500% profit over a penny, and how that could apply to larger investments, what's the chance of you really being able to manage larger funds in relationship to larger purchases? You're probably going to screw it up. Most people do. If most people don't have over 500,000 in bank account as of the making of this video in the United States, I'm saying there's a problem, right? There's a problem. That's all there is to it, is a problem. And you could, and pointing remember, when you point your finger, when you point your finger at somebody, you got three pointed back at you. Okay, so when you blame somebody else, chances are you're three times more to blame than somebody else for the position you're in. So don't blame others for your position. Take accountability. Here I talk about pennies, but I think, again, I try to illustrate the philosophy of how such a small denomination, and the smallest denomination in the universe, is a penny. But I'm gonna get $2 for this one day. Well, I can get $2 for this right now. I'm gonna get maybe $3 or $4 for this one day in the future. And if I do that 1,000 times, I made 2-3 grand off a friggin' penny I found in a penny roll. Which of course leads me to my last pearl of wisdom, and that's go to the bank and get your pennies. You know, don't screw around. This is it. You got one shot. You know, and then after that, you're gonna be buying pennies off. You're gonna be buying bank penny rolls off of me for $10 a piece in 5 years that I picked up for 50 cents. All right, so that's all I got for today. God bless. I hope you enjoyed the video. This is episode 632, and I will see you in episode 633.